back to Bunny and Beyond. In the last video, we were headed to Quartzsite, and Sparrow had to fill in because I was having a panic attack. You know, like you do. We have just arrived at Quartzsite, and Sparrow is off hunting the lizards. And I've raked a spot there, and I'm gonna set up my tent there. And the van, and it's an absolute mess. I've just bought a bunch of stuff for solar. Not everything, but enough to get me through. There's like a used panel that I just bought here. It's only like 100 watts. Some birch and utility board, 2x2s, and some bigger boards, 2x3s. And everything needs to come off my bed so I can sleep tonight. But also I'm gonna probably put the mattress in the tent that's gonna go there. There's Sparrow. Where's Sparrow?
Here I am, Mom.
You're so good. You're a good boy. Everything is everywhere, and it's just how it's going to be for a little while until I get it figured out. And I'm still sick, as you can hear from my voice. Hanging in there, pushing through. Please somebody send help. Until I get everything for the solar set up, like that's the panel I'm working with. This one right here, the little orange one. It's just hanging out my window. Hopefully it's going to do better than it was doing on the dashboard behind the windshield. But that thing takes forever, as I've already mentioned. And the problem with that, those little things, these, they can't charge my power tools. So that's why I had to purchase a partial solar setup with the big battery and everything. I do want to get another one of these. This is a 100 amp hour 12 volt AGM battery. I did get a charge controller and that used solar panel. That's just for now. That's just to charge the power tools. I don't know where my gloves are. They're buried somewhere. So I'm probably going to end up with splinters, but I'm just trying to rake out the bigger rocks so that I have a flat surface for the tent to go that won't damage it. And the tent is just like $100 tent. Keep in mind, it will never ever fit in this bag again, right? There are instructions in here. Am I gonna read them? No. Am I gonna wing it? Yeah. I don't even have my glasses on, so we'll see. Wish me luck. I think this is the fly, so we'll put that over here. I don't know where Sparrow is supposed to. There you are.
Hi, Mom. Just checking in, Mom. Okay, bye, Mom.
Looks like I rigged literally the most perfect space. I don't know how I did that. This is big. No directions. I don't think it's going to be very complicated. Famous last words though, right? I think this goes this way. Already ants on this. Okay, that's fun. There are a lot of ants over here. I must have like put it right on a nest or something. I don't see them under here. There are a lot of them though. Of course that would be just my luck, wouldn't it?
Oh, hey, Mom. How's the tent setup going? Oh, Mom, I've been meaning to tell you there's ants there. You probably shouldn't set up the tent there.
So maybe I need to put it in another place. All right, I guess we're gonna put it there instead. And my dog has obviously had his fun being on here too, so that's great.
What's this thing? Maybe I'll pee on it.
And then it says it goes over here, but I'm not sure how it does that. What? Maybe it goes on the inside. Well, that doesn't make any sense. And I would like to know where my hammer is. I'm already sweating. Not really sure how I'm supposed to get this in. It's up. I have to get this stuff off my bed and then my bed into the tent. Okay. Keep in mind, I'm still sick throughout all of this. Where I got the energy for it, I don't know. I can just feel all the splinters happening right now. But that warm heat from the sun in the desert is such a welcome change from the cold weather I was experiencing in northern Arizona. This kind of sunshine just makes you want to be outside. I've put this tarp down and it goes all the way to the back of the van. It's a massive tarp. It's what I bought to put over my van because it was leaking. But my idea is to take the mattress out because there's all these little prickly things on the ground that I just don't want in the mattress. Like these little things right here. Right there. They're really sharp. They hurt. You can't walk barefoot. Or if I put it on this and then slide it to the tent, I will avoid getting those things all up in that mattress. You guys better find this entertaining, I swear to God. It's stuck on everything. The whole reason this process is sped up isn't just because it would be boring to watch, but because of all the curse words I was using. Okay, I've gotten the bed in there. I've gotten most of the stuff like emptied out over here. It's all on that tarp right there. And then I've got everything that's in the van right now. I just want to move into the tent so that I have a clean slate to work with. And there's a lot of stuff. There's bins and tools and everything I own. But first, I need a break. So we're gonna eat some blueberries. Like the whole thing. Look at this stupid tent. It's so noisy. I'm just trying to take a little bit of a nap. And all it does is keep flapping and flapping. That pole right there. Every time the wind blows, see, it gets pushed in. It goes like all the way in. And you think it's gonna snap. Right, yep. And it just won't stop making noise. It's not even windy outside. Shush. I'm gonna dig a hole and live in that. What the f*** is that sound? Really? I hate tent camping. Shut up! Whatever the f*** you are, shut up! I'm gonna go kill it. And so after a night of no sleep, I'm having a temper tantrum. I just want to get done with it, and I can't because there's all these little stupid things that I don't have 3 hands for. It's editing, Bunny. And yeah, that's a really vulnerable moment that a lot of us go through in van life. We get overwhelmed, we cry, we have temper tantrums, and we break down. As much as a vulnerable moment as it was, it's real. And you guys know I'm pretty real on this channel. So what I want to do is make sure that you guys know what you're getting into if you're thinking about doing van life, if you're potentially planning for it, or if you're a newbie and things are coming down hard on you. You are not alone. This is going to happen. It's just like living in a house or living in an apartment. You're going to have times of your life where like everything feels like it's coming down on you and collapsing, and that's okay. Work through it. Feel the pain, get through it. I don't want to paint this picture of van life as this like, oh, it's so bougie and perfect and you always have this amazing view of the Sawtooth Mountains out of your van window and a hot spring over here, because that's not how it is all the time. You can romanticize the F out of it. Just looking out my window right now at a city park is absolutely beautiful. Check this out. Isn't it gorgeous? But sometimes it's just not going to be that romantic. That's all. That's my little tidbit. So, my mom is dying. I just really want you guys to be mindful of things in the comments and don't come down hard on people when they're showing you the reality of their life, because we're choosing to share our lives with you. And you got to think about the comments you're leaving and like how they're affecting people. We're choosing to share these parts of our lives with you. We don't have to. We're choosing to. And we do that so that you can relate to us and you can relate to each other. Be kind. Okay, so moving on. Remember I was talking in the last video about how people had come out of the woodwork to help me out, and I have a friend in Quartzsite that's going to help me with some tools and stuff. Well, that friend you're about to meet, his name is Chris, and he has a whole lot of handyman knowledge. I've known Chris for, I think, 4, maybe 5 years now, and we've met in Quartzsite. We've just kept in touch over the years, and he was the person who helped me build my very first van. I had a Chevy. It was a G van, a G20 van. It's like from the 90s, maybe even 80s. It had avocado green carpet upholstery in it and like brown velvet. It was crazy. It was old school and I loved it, but I only owned that van for 20 days. I've talked about this on TikTok, and I guess I'll tell the story here too at some point. But he was the original person who taught me like everything I knew about carpentry. I've asked him to come help me out. And let me tell you what, after those tears and crying and mental breakdowns and panic attacks and temper tantrums, Chris showed up and really pulled me out of the gutter. So he's the real MVP of all this. More is gonna happen later that I will tell you about as I edit those videos. There are more MVPs. Chris was the initial one that came out and just like gave it his all, and I owe him my life right now. I owe him my mental sanity. And so, Chris, I got you. Oh, and P.S., he is also for hire. He is in the Quartzsite area right now. If you are and you need some handyman work, I will link his information below. Hi to Chris. He's my helper and one of my old friends here in Quartzsite. First things we got to work on were removing some bolts from the floors that needed just a pair of hands. This job took a couple of wrenches and a new socket set, and Chris worked on the bottom while I worked on top. All right, well, that's enough work for one day. Let's go out to eat. Now, I did say before that Quartzsite doesn't really have any good places to eat, but they did just acquire a new Indian restaurant. It's called the Kohinoor Dhaba, and watch out, it's spicy. And it literally went right through me. But we can't let that stop us. It's the next day and it's time to get to work. I love him so much. Well, good morning from the van. And Sparrow says hi with the squeaker. I have been hard at work this morning building the frame for the bed. And it's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be, because vans have very weird measurements. They're not straight, they're not all the same perpendicular measurements, and they're not parallel to each other. Like, for instance, the rear of my van is a little bit more narrow than the front or the middle section. So you have to basically measure each time, making progress, which feels really, really good. Let me show you what I've done so far. So I framed up against the side of the van, and I have some supports going across. Surprisingly, it's very solid. It doesn't seem to be like bowing or anything, but over time it might. I just want to utilize as much space down there as I possibly can without having it be divided upon, so that if I need to put something big back there, I absolutely can. I'm probably going to put some more legs on the outer side of the wheel wells, just because this is where most of my weight and Sparrow's weight will be, because we tend to sit on the edge of the bed a lot. I am running out of these nails, so we're gonna have to go into town and get more of those soon. And also, I've been using these batteries, and I don't have a way of charging them yet because I have not set up my solar, because I'm missing 2 cords. Before we run into town, we gotta play with Sparrow.
Yeah, I left a ball right there for you, Mom.
Okay, all right. Uh-oh, where'd it go? It's over here.
Got it, Mom.
Good boy. Now I have this dilemma. Yes, I need to get more plywood. That's not the dilemma. The dilemma is I sleep diagonally because I'm like 5'8", almost 5'9", and I usually have my head at one end and then my feet at the other, or whatever way, right? But I don't know if this is going to be too long, and I feel like this is cutting into too much of my living space. I almost want to have a shorter bed, but then I don't want to be like super uncomfortable. Do I want to cut this down and take out this last support beam and make it only this long? Or will I be cutting it too tight? I just don't want the entire half of the back of the van to be bed. Let's go ahead and try it out, shall we? It's pretty solid. It definitely holds my weight, and it'll hold Sparrow's too, especially when the mattress is on there, distributing the weight a little bit more. But I might end up putting supports down the middle. I don't know. But okay. With the mattress, we're gonna be up a little bit more, and this will come in, so we lose a couple inches, but I think we're gonna be okay. And then this way. Like, my head just barely comes up to this part, so I don't know, man. We shall see. You know, I just don't want to like screw myself and make it too short. But I also really would like that extra foot of living space, so I can do yoga on the floor. Let's see. I still have a couple inches. I don't know. I don't want a whole lot of bed. It's just too much bed. And it's too inviting. If I have this big inviting bed, then I'm gonna sit in the bed all day. And that's not what I wanna be doing. I wanna be working, I wanna be up, I wanna be doing stuff. So I don't wanna make the bed too inviting. Maybe I'll take it down even like a couple more inches, but not the whole foot. I don't know. We'll see. But now I have splinters in my so that's cool. Yay! Look who's here again. Yay, thanks, Chris. We have cut down the mattress. We took the Sawzall and cut that down and sewed it up a little bit and then recovered it, and we shortened it so it's going to fit on this little platform. And I did end up removing that 5th bar because it was just going to be too much bed. We're going to make some longer cuts here just so there's some slats between the pieces of plywood. Here and here and here. So Chris has done us the glory of drilling some holes in here so that the mattress can breathe when it's on top of there. But we weren't able to finish the platform part because our batteries died. Or my batteries died. And, oh, yours did too? Okay, both of our batteries died. The solar is still not up and running because we keep trying to get this hooked up and realizing we're missing like one connector or one end or one wire. So tomorrow we're going to make another run in and get 2 more connectors, and then it'll be set and we will have power, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Today we were able to cut down the mattress. You really can't tell, but it is shorter. We cut about that much off, and it will now fit on the shorter platform in the van. Well, the next night in the van, we got rid of the squawking bird, but we gained coyotes howling in the distance, which Sparrow thought was a great thing to sing along to. At 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Sparrow, I love you so much. As much as I don't like sleeping in the tent, I kind of do like peeing by moonlight at night. It's pretty gross outside today. All that, it looks like mist or fog, is all just dust. Because it's kind of windy, you can probably hear on the microphone. The mountains over there you can't even see. And I assure you they're there. And then the mountains over there are just covered in dust. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty gross. It's eerie and pretty, but it means that the tent's probably going to be blowing around like crazy today, which sucks because I don't trust that tent. So I've opened up the windows a little bit so that the wind can kind of pass through. And I was cooking stuff out here, but because it's so windy, this is just part of van life, especially when you're boondocking. I moved everything inside, so I made tea and coffee inside today. Now my bed is like a makeshift shelf, and it will be like this for a couple days until I can get my batteries charged. Which, the cool thing is those batteries to all that Ryobi stuff, they're all charging at a friend's house right now. So that's awesome. But that's okay. It's just a waiting game. There's other things that I can do today. And some of that is putting Reflectix up along that wall and putting some more insulation up along that wall behind those posts. And I've got my coffee made, so I'm a happy girl. For right now, van life is a lot of moving and shifting everything around. It's the van life shuffle in the most extreme case, because everything is getting shuffled in and out and around the van. And because I have to leave my site, I don't want to leave everything out and vulnerable, so I've been putting it under tarps and stuff, so it just doesn't look like there's anything valuable out here. It's not really valuable, but it's valuable to me. Sparrow is everlastingly here with the ball. He's waiting patiently for me to throw it. But I wanted to show you guys my solar setup that I haven't gotten set up yet because I'm not sure what to do about the ground bolt. There's a bolt on this side to ground it, and usually you would just ground it to the van. I never grounded it with my last van and my last solar setup, so maybe some of you have an answer. I do have a call into a friend of a friend to get some answers about that, but I have all the wires and I have all the right connections now. I've got everything to go. I just am a little concerned about not having it grounded. So if that's what the next problem is. It's like every day I think I'm going to have my solar set up, and then it's one more thing that I just can't figure out the answer to. So hopefully we will find that out soon. But we're making progress on everything else. I'll throw this ball for Sparrow and I'll show you guys. Here we go. This is over here working away, drilling holes in the bed. And so we were kind of making Swiss cheese out of some of these panels that are the bed deck. And that way the mattress doesn't get moldy and it'll have a way to breathe. Everybody give it up for Chris right now, because if it wasn't for him, none of this would have even gotten started. So I'm super appreciative for Chris's help right now. So if you guys want some work done, he is your guy. He knows how to do everything. He's amazing. It's a huge relief for me to finally be able to give you guys some positive news and some progress on this van build. Quartzsite has always been a magical healing place for me. This time was no different. The good people and good energy of the desert pulled me out of a really bad place when I got here, and we have made so much progress that I can't wait to share with you in the next few videos.